Can I name the starting lineup of the Brooklyn Nets? I'm sure I'll get Jeremy Lin correct because of his weird hair. And Brook Lopez as well, because he's been the mainstay of the Nets for a while now. Outside of those two, I don't know. In Philadelphia, I mean, of course, there's Ben Simmons and their centers, but I can't for the life of me think of their backcourt off the top of my head. And before you think, well, couldn't you have just used this footage to help you out for the quiz? Yeah, but I recorded it after the fact so I could make a nice little intro. So, we already did the 2015-16 NBA Starters quiz. Now we can do the 16-17 one. And like before, there are some guys that are going to be easy, some that are going to be a bit tougher. And let me talk about the NBA season coming up a little bit while you're seeing me guess names, spell some names wrong, and eventually get them and whatever. I was listening to the Low Post, Zach Lowe's podcast, last night with him and Jeff Van Gundy. And the idea of, like, the NBA Finals this season is probably going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors because, barring injuries, I just don't think anybody in either conference has a chance against them. And it's like, it brings up the idea of, is the NBA still fun when there are two teams that are by far and away the best teams in their conference? And for me personally, I can still get excited with this stuff. Like, I can still look at a team like the Atlanta Hawks and be like, well, how are they going to be different now that they went from Jeff Teague, who was like a really structured point guard in their system, to Dennis Schroeder, who's a bit more erratic, and they went from Al Horford, who's a two-way center who can shoot, and he and Millsap setting screens for everybody made it really tough to defend them. You go from that to Dwight Howard. Like, I'm excited to see if Bradley Beal can stay healthy for the Wizards, if Moutier can take a jump for the Nuggets. But someone who's a bit more casual of an NBA fan would just go, well, why the hell does it matter? It's going to be LeBron James and the Cavaliers against KD and the Warriors in the finals, so why do you even care about all that? So, I don't know. I think that's just an interesting thing with the NBA right now. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of just star players making it to where the NBA is like a two-team league almost. So to put it bluntly, I'm not a huge fan of what Kevin Durant did deciding to go to the Warriors. Now, I understand as a free agent, you're allowed to go wherever you want. From a professional standpoint, I get it. You know, you want to win. You want to be on a team that's extremely fun to play on. But as a fan, it's like, man, you know, Oklahoma City versus Golden State could have been a fantastic rivalry for a long time. I mean, OKC nearly beat Golden State by beating them with their athleticism and their length, and of course, because Westbrook and Durant were impossible to defend. Now Durant goes to the Warriors, they get even better, and then OKC drops off to a mid-tier Western Conference team. It's like, well, that kind of sucks, you know? And then if you look at the Eastern Conference, I mean, I think the Raptors are going to be really good this year. I think my Celtics have a chance to be very good. I don't give either one of them a chance against the Cavaliers. By the way, this one where I'm trying to guess the small forward of the Clippers, this one is straight BS, and you'll see why later on. But yeah, back to that discussion, like, it just kind of sucks. I wish there were more teams that would actually give us a chance to see some different NBA Finals. I mean, I think the Cavaliers and the Warriors, when they meet again, barring injuries or whatever, I'm sure it'll be a great series, but it just adds a little bit more thrill when you don't know for a fact, like, who's going to win, you know? Like, when we had Oklahoma City and Golden State going at it in Game 7, we were like, dude, I don't know who's going to win this game, but I'm sure it's going to be crazy, and it was. And it's just fun to be able to have that as an NBA fan, and if we only have like two teams that are really going for it, well, who knows. All that being said, the season's still going to be fun. I'm not like as jazzed for this season starting as some in the past. I'm interested to see how Durant fits in with the Warriors, and like, you know, I want to see if Derrick Rose can bounce back, and of course Karl Anthony Towns, Porzingis, if they can keep on getting better. It would have been nice if Ben Simmons was ready day one. But in the end-all be-all, you see what I'm saying. If I can go back to the Kevin Durant thing for a second. Well, actually, let me mention first, the Pelicans point guard, because of Drew Holiday's situation he has going on, which is very unfortunate, their point guard is like friggin' impossible. If you know who their starting point guard is and you're not a Pelicans fan, then you're friggin' Jesus in my eyes. The hell was I talking about? Kevin Durant, that's right. The amount of backlash that KD got this offseason on Twitter and everything, it's actually pretty insane to see. And it's kind of funny because if Durant like really wanted to go to a new situation where he could definitely be the top guy and it'd be a fresh start and he could still have like the ball movement and all that the Warriors have, but he wouldn't be taking the backlash, it actually would have made sense for him to go to the Celtics because people would have been like, oh yeah, now we get to see Durant versus LeBron, but of course I would have liked that as well just being a Celtics fan, but KD, you know, he's allowed to do what he wants. And I guess I can talk about now just some of the things I'm more excited about for the season. I did mention the New York Knicks, and I'm actually warming up more to the Knicks the more I think about them. Because, I mean, having Carmelo Anthony, who's still one of the best players in the league, and Porzingis in the same team, like, those two alone might be able to get them into the postseason, because if Porzingis takes his second-year jump, which gets him to, I don't know, 17, 18 points per game and maybe 36% from three, and being the big man who can stretch outside, and you can put him on power forwards, you can put him on centers, and he can kill anybody he gets matched up on. Like, with Carmelo Anthony, those two alone might be enough for you, and if you can get at least something out of Derrick Rose, it'll be good, because, you know, I mean, injuries suck. It's really too bad to see that a guy who was once one of the 5 best players in the NBA is now struggling to just be there again, you know? You talk about different star players among the years who just weren't what we knew they could be because of injury. Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill. Now you can add Derrick Rose to that list, and it sucks. You know, it does suck. Injuries suck. Speaking of injuries, there's also the Anthony Davis thing. I think he got injured again with like an ankle injury or something. I hope Anthony Davis's legacy isn't just the guy who got injured one too many times, because he hasn't had any like drastic injuries, but he's had like little knick-knack ones that stack on top of each other, and he keeps playing like 60 games a season. I don't want that. I want Anthony Davis to be a beast. I want him to be one of the best players in the league. Now you'll notice I have 5 left, and this is when the BS Clippers small forward situation comes into play. Look, I guess Mbah a Moute, and it's incorrect. Now if you've noticed, this site's kind of weird when it comes to last names, so I'm like, maybe I'm typing it in wrong. Maybe it's not him at all. It could be Wesley Johnson, who knows. I do get Dellavedova, so that one's good. And we only have 4 names left, and when I look at the 76ers, it's not Gerald Henderson. It's not Robert Covington, it's not Jeremy Grant, it's not Isaiah Canaan, it's not Hollis Thompson, it's not Luwawu Cabaret. Who the hell's the starting shooting guard for the Philadelphia 76ers? Well, when I give up, you will see just who it is, and I really should have gotten him. One, I didn't put the frickin' dashes in Mbah a Moute. That's some straight BS on this website's part. But the Milwaukee Bucks, Rashad Vaughn, I actually should have gotten him. I do remember hearing a bit about him. He's going to be playing because Middleton's hurt. Friggin' Stauskas? Really? Nick Stauskas is the starting 2 for the 76ers? I should have gotten that one. Tim Frazier with the Pelicans? Okay, I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt on that one. So I missed 4 players total. That's pretty okay, I would say. Really should have had Stauskas, and the Mbah a Moute one was straight BS, let's be honest here. NBA season starts tomorrow. Cavaliers and the Knicks. We'll get to see if Derrick Rose is really himself pretty quickly. Should be fun.